This might be one of the biggest news stories to happen regarding AI music ever. And that is that UMG strikes a landmark deal with Udio to license AI music. At first, this might not seem like a big deal, but it is a way bigger deal than you think regarding the legality and a lot more regarding AI music and especially AI music generators. Now, if I jump to another article real quick, in case you didn't know, with what's going on with Udio, you now cannot download your songs on the platform. Right here, the Udio CEO stated, "We hate the fact that we cannot offer downloads right now. We know the pain it causes you, and we are sorry that we have to do so." In a Reddit post, he tried to explain the reasons for the original change, saying that Udio is a small company operating in an incredibly complex and evolving space, and that has chosen to partner directly with artists and songwriters. In order to facilitate that partnership, we had to disable downloads. So you can now not download songs that you make, that you create on Udio anymore as a result of this partnership, but also lawsuit at the same time. It's kind of both, actually. So going back here, you can see that basically UMG settles with Udio and unveils plans for a licensed AI-powered music platform set to launch in 2026, and it is being called a historic partnership. So going down here, UMG and the controversial AI music startup have reached a settlement and signed what they describe as an industry first. This is the first time this has really happened. And again, this is why this is a big sign of what's to come in the future regarding AI music and AI music generators, releasing it potentially on DistroKid and Spotify. Like, there's a lot to this. It's an industry first licensing agreement, which basically is a new phase of commercial cooperation between music right holders and generative music platforms. The main reason why is the settlement ends a year-long litigation that accused Udio of unlawfully training its generative AI models on copyrighted music without permission. They also even mentioned Suno here. Suno right now is actually being sued as well. That's definitely a subject for a different video. But the big AI music generators are really Suno and Udio, the Coke and Pepsi, the Lyft and Uber of the AI music generating world. And you can see that there's a possibility of billions in damages as major record labels allege systemic copyright infringement. And Udio, like I said, is set to become the first AI music generator to operate in partnership with the world's largest music company. This agreement includes both recorded music, publishing licenses, and more, and will serve as the foundation for a new AI-driven music platform, which I'm kind of curious about. We'll see how that goes. Slated to launch next year, the service will enable fans to stream, customize, and share AI-generated music, all trained exclusively on licensed content. The Udio CEO said this moment brings to life everything we've been building towards, uniting AI and the music industry in a way that truly champions artists. Together, we're building the technological and business landscape that will fundamentally expand what's possible in music creation and engagement. Now, at first glance, like I said, it doesn't seem like a big deal, but I think it's a big sign of what's to come regarding AI music and the way we're going to go about it. First off, let's talk about the legal aspects. AI music generators have been caught, in this case, let's talk about Udio specifically on this video, has been caught basically studying copyrighted work from big artists and dissecting and doing all this kind of stuff in order to build their engines, in order to build these AI music generators. And as a result, a lot of record companies, a lot of record labels are saying, wait a minute, you're kind of in a sense using our copyrighted material. That's illegal. That should not be allowed. You're kind of, in a sense, stealing. We want to get some piece of that pie. We want to get some piece of that revenue. Or in this case, why not just work together, right? And over the past year of this lawsuit and litigation going on, they've now reached a settlement, and now they have, as they call it in this article, an historic partnership. So the legal aspects of AI music and AI music generators, which is a bit of a different thing, but is very relevant for this video, is very important for this because, one, there are other AI music generators that are definitely going to have some issues. Suno is going to be the next one. I hate to say that probably will have something happening. I know there's a lawsuit kind of pending right now. I don't know all the details behind it. I'll do a different video about that. But the legal aspects. The second thing that I wonder then is what about the legal rights of the songs? The legal aspects of you creating a song when it comes to AI music is very vague, especially for anybody who's used an AI music generator to make a song and then release it on a platform, things are very, very tricky. And I hate to say it, I think they're going to get trickier because taking a step back, and I did a video about this, I think it was like a few months ago or earlier this year, the first tricky thing is who created the song? Because let's say I write the lyrics myself, and this happens a lot. I've gotten a lot of comments on this channel about this. If I write the lyrics myself, and then I write a riff on guitar, and I put that into, let's say, Suno, and Suno creates a song with other stuff in it, but using my guitar melody, using my lyrics, well, who made the song? I think some people would look at that from a certain perspective as an AI tool. You're not relying on Suno 100% per se. You're using it as a tool to create music. And let's be honest, there's a lot of AI tools that are used in music production. And I might even say a lot of algorithms used in music production. Take an auto-tuner. An auto-tuner, in a sense, I don't want to say it's AI per se, that's a different thing, but it's more of an algorithm. I sing and it transforms my voice, and I'm using that auto-tune in that way. And a lot of people use Suno in that regard as well. However, if let's say I just type in a song saying, or a prompt saying, make me an EDM song, how much work did I really put into typing that sentence? Not much. And if it creates an entire song for me with its own lyrics, its own melody and everything, some people might say, well, it's not really your song, it's really Suno's song. It's really Udio's song, for example. And this brings up, again, the ship thesis. I've already talked about it in a lot of videos, this kind of philosophical experiment where it's like, well, some people might argue, well, you still have to think of that prompt. If I, like, say, want to do a song and I say, write me a song about the feeling and tranquility of walking down a dimly lit street at 1 a.m. and the feelings that you have. Some people might say, well, you thought of that prompt. So because you thought of the prompt and typed it in, you technically generated it and it's actually still yours. And where's the gray area? Like, if, let's say, I type in 10% of the lyrics, and then Suno writes the other 90%. Is it still my lyrics? This is where the debate is happening. And taking a step further with what's going on here, some record labels could potentially argue, and again, we'll have to see what happens, like UMG, well, wait a minute. You, in a sense, stole part of our copyrighted material, used it to train AI models, and then made songs. That's illegal. Okay. But as a user, if, let's say, you used Udio, made a song and released it, could UMG go after you and say, wait a minute, this is actually still our stuff? Like, yeah, you didn't know that Udio was messing up. You didn't know that Suno was messing up, but still, you technically have something on your hands that's derived from copyrighted material because of the AI training models. That's going to be an interesting kind of situation to see how it plays out, because there have been a lot of artists, of course, I've done a bunch of videos about it on this channel, who've just released AI music. For me, I actually don't really use Udio, I use Suno, but for me, I release music under the Infinite Lamp Chop. More for fun, it's more of a fun thing to do, just to see testing and whatnot, but those songs are AI generated. And is it possible that, let's say, UMG could go after Suno, and anyone who's released a song under Suno, are they gonna start fingerprinting songs, which I've already done a video about, where basically there's a musical algorithmic fingerprint, meaning AI detection systems can detect its AI, and then UMG gets some of the cut of the revenue? Could it be that record labels now study the songs, and then it's like, well, if, let's say, I make an EDM song, does that mean UMG is going to take revenue from my song and give it to Skrillex, as opposed to Lady Gaga? Or if I make a pop song, that revenue goes to Lady Gaga? How are they going to distribute it with the artist? There are so many unanswered questions here. And then when you look deeper and deeper to that, you may be then wondering or thinking, because this has happened to me too, where I, let's say, make a song. I released a song called Kachasa. I did a video about it where I used one vocal line from this one AI generated song that I made. It was like a pirate sea shanty. I used one vocal line and one, like, minor small like orchestral loop. I almost treated these loops like splice sounds. So I'm like, ooh, it's a cool vocal line. Ooh, it's a cool little orchestral thing. Let's put that into a song and make everything around it. I made 99% of that song. The 1 extra percent was AI generated. Does that mean UMG, or let's say another record label, could technically argue, well, even though you didn't release the song as it was generated, but you used the stems, technically, if we go into intense technical legal stuff, I know I'm not a lawyer, I never pretend to be one, I could see some argument of them saying, well, because, again, this goes deeper down the rabbit hole, as you can see. Because you use an AI-generated software that was built on copyrighted material, that's illegal, and it generated the song. That song's based off copyrighted stuff. And then those stems or the breakpoints or the breakdowns or the puzzle pieces of that song are also copyrighted. Just because it's broken down to a smaller piece doesn't mean it wasn't trained on copyrighted material. Therefore, even though you use that one vocal sample as a stem in your song, that's actually technically not allowed. Now, of course, we're going aggressively deep down the rabbit hole, but maybe not. So again, this is what I've said to a lot of people throughout the years. Just be aware that I don't know where AI music is going, and releasing it is going to get trickier and trickier. And then lastly, let's get to the final point of this, which is their AI platform. You know, as I mentioned, there might be some kind of streaming behind it. And I've said this before, and other people have talked about this. Should it become something where, like, say, Spotify and other platforms are only human-released music, and then this new platform that Udio and UMG are working together to build is only AI music? I actually don't think that's a bad idea. Love it or hate it, AI, the cat's out of the bag. We've opened up Pandora's box. There's no going back. There's no going back. So when you look at a lot of AI slop, as it's being called in other fields like music, not just music, but art, entertainment, text, all this kind of stuff, could it be that maybe we make platforms that are just only AI slop? And then it becomes, again, a deeper question, which is the big one I've said in so many videos. How do you police it? With Spotify, how do you police it? Does Spotify say, yes, you can release AI music, and they fully open up the floodgates? That's a lot of can of worms. Then let's say Spotify says, you know what? No more AI music. No more AI music. If you want to release AI music, go to this platform that they just made. That's your platform to release your stuff on. Does that mean Spotify is going to be cracking down, which obviously they will be, but then how do they? There could be a lot of false positives. There could be a lot of situations where I, like, say, release a song as Ferchero, as a human artist, let me word it like that, but then it gets false flags saying, oh, wait, this is AI. I'm like, whoa, no, it's not. This is made by a human. That causes even more can of worms. And I think that's where things get tricky now, is at first, one thing I said regarding Spotify and these other music platforms besides Deezer. Deezer's the only one that has started to crack down on AI music, and I love Deezer's approach. But the main thing I've said in a lot of videos when it comes to Spotify is Mark Cuban's quote, which is, I don't care if the glass is half full or half empty, as long as I'm the one pouring the water. Meaning Spotify is kind of saying right now, even though they haven't said anything yet publicly about AI music, they've said, look, or they haven't said, they're basically saying, if it's human, it's AI, who cares when we're making the money? If, like, say, someone goes to Spotify and they stream, like, say, the Infinite Lamb Chop, my AI artist, or they stream Ferchero, me as a human artist, or as a real artist, let me say it like that, either way, whether it's AI or human, we're making the money from them listening to the music, so we're bringing it in. And a lot of people have commented on this channel, well, you know, I don't care if it's AI or human, if it's a banger, it's a banger. That was the case before. Where I hate to say it, if I was Spotify, I probably wouldn't say anything about AI music, because I'm like, hey, as long as people are coming to my platform and listening to the music and I'm getting paid from Spotify Premium and ads and blah, 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 who cares if it's AI or human? AI shmai. Now, though, I do wonder if this could turn into an interesting can of worms where Spotify says, shoot, if we're allowing AI music on this platform, and they know they are, let's be honest, Spotify knows there's a lot of AI stuff on their platform. Could it be that UMG goes after Spotify saying, hey, you're allowing this AI music to be on your platform. You're not doing anything about it. You're kind of hiding in the corner, pretending like it doesn't exist. And we're not going to go after you because UMG is going after you, because UMG realized that with Udio, a lot of these AI songs that you have on your platform were actually generated using copyrighted material models, if I'd say it like that. And as a result, we're going after you now. And then Spotify says, oh, shoot, now we have to make a decision. Now we have to do something about the AI stuff on our platform. Does that mean that they're going to take all of it down? Are they going to take Deezer's approach? Which, again, I do think Deezer has right now the smartest approach I have seen yet out of any platform or any company or whatever. I don't know. Of course, a lot of unanswered questions, but like I said, this to me, I think on one end is something that isn't, how do I word it? It's kind of inevitable. It kind of makes sense where I think for a long time, the past couple of years, we have been living in kind of the wild, wild west of AI music, where you can release it, but you kind of can't, but you kind of can. And Spotify seems to be taking down AI music, but they're also not. It's kind of this very, very, very gray area that's going on right now. And in some good ways, I think that this is a good thing that now we're starting to pave the way of how AI legality or AI stuff regarding the legal world when it comes to music is being handled. I actually look at, it's kind of weird, what's going on with AI music right now, very similar to cryptocurrency, where back in the day, there was a lot of gray areas. It was, of course, deregulated. I know a lot about crypto, I might as well say as a side note. Now, though, I think it's still deregulated. I mean, it's always going to be, not regulated, but I think there's better laws and stuff like that into place to have, illegal things or something in the books for a legal perspective where, like, say, if there's a rug pull or a pump and dump scam, that people can be prosecuted for it, right? Again, that's a whole other subject for a whole other video. Is with this on one end, at least is now kind of paving the way to have things a little more clear cut, to kind of remove that gray area or remove the ambiguity, so to speak. On the other end, I think this, I don't know. That's my main answer. Could this be a slippery slope where if they go after Udio, and Udio is in the wrong, of course, could it be that Udio then goes after its users and those who have downloaded it? Could it be that UMG, or maybe even Udio, or maybe them together go after streaming services for promoting and releasing and streaming the AI music? Could it be that UMG and Udio go after DistroKid, for example, saying, hey, forget Spotify. Spotify is at the other end of the spectrum. If you look at like Udio, or technically, let's say UMG, then Udio train based off its models, then someone downloads it, then they go to DistroKid, then DistroKid releases it on Spotify. Because DistroKid's in the middleman of that song being created and being put on that streaming platform, could it be that UMG and Udio go after DistroKid, saying, hey, you now need AI detection models in your software or whatever, so that way when someone releases it, before it can even get on Spotify, you have to block it and say, hey, nope, we're not allowing it. We're not even going to ship it out. We're not even going to mail it out, so to speak, virtually in a sense, because we know it's AI. Again, a lot of unanswered questions, which I feel like is sometimes a reoccurring theme on this channel, and I hate making what I might say ambiguous YouTube videos, but I feel like this one I try to be very specific about the pros and the cons as I see it, but this is just something to be very, very aware of, as I feel like this is the first breadcrumb of a huge path being laid out of where AI music could go, and especially using AI music generators.